Hello everybody, this is Blue with another Bannerlord tutorial. This tutorial will be going over the best tactics that I have found within the game of Bannerlord. And of course, this closely follows and adheres to some strategy from one of the greatest military strategists of all time, Sun Tzu. His absolute most famous quote whatsoever just so happens to be F1, F3. This right here is pure military genius. No other general has ever come close to Sun Tzu's mastery of warfare, and no other warfare tactic has ever come close to F1, F3. This could be considered by many to be one of the best tactics within the game of Bannerlord and throughout all of history. But what if I told y'all that the ultimate master of warfare, Sun Tzu, was wrong and there was a better strategy for warfare? Well, just to say, he is wrong, and I will tell you how. So let's hop right into this tutorial. Okay, so first of all, let me go over the goals of these tactics and what they accomplish. So basically, I have used this tactic to beat armies over 2 times my size, such I'll be facing this 269 army later on in the video. And this tactic depends on the faction you are facing, so the tactics definitely vary depending on the factions. For example, if you're dealing with the Kazite, Imperial, Aserai, Battalion, Vlandian, Sturgia, all the different factions, they all have their own troops, which calls for differentiation between the tactics, which I will be going over. However, this method is by far one of the best tactics that I have found within the game, and it consistently beats much larger armies, and I have easy times beating not really well developed armies and a lot bigger armies, especially on the most realistic settings, which I have currently been set to. So let's just go straight into describing it. Okay, so basically we have the army composition of 43 cavalry, 52 infantry, 30 horse archers, and 18 ranged troops. However, the infantry is just a bunch of recruits at this very moment because I just went and recruited a ton of Kazai troops. But basically, the recruits are going to make great cannon fodder for your more experienced range troops, horse archers, and cavalry. And I highly recommend that the majority of your army happens to be cav-based troops, such as horse archers or cav in general. These are the key to getting the most out of your army, and horse archers are the absolute best thing that you want in your army because they just circle around the enemy, and once your strong cav units defeat the enemy cav's units, they can reign free and absolutely wreak havoc. But basically, as you can see, the majority of my army just so happens to be cavalry, but there is a lot of infantry and there is some range. It's important to have some infantry and some range so those troops don't all focus on your cav. Like, they all need to work in unison together in order for this tactic to work. So let me just get straight into this tactic. Okay, so before we actually jump straight into the battle, I want to go over some of the basics behind this tactic, and before I actually start commanding troops within the game and actually getting into the nitty-gritty stuff, because I won't have much time to focus on this because I'll be busy leading my troops. So basically, what you're going to want to do, you are not going to want to advance towards the enemy. You want to set up in a decent position. Most preferably, you want to be on a hill. Your archers want to be on a hill, and your troops want to be, or infantry want to be at the bottom of the hill. Do not advance towards the enemy. I don't see why a lot of people just want to charge straight, like, oh, F1, F3, advance towards, or F1, F4, I think it is, advance towards the enemy. Because what's the point? If the enemy is coming to you, they have to stay within your archers' line of fire for a much longer period of time rather than having your archers advance. And a lot of times at the start of the battle, I'll have the archers in front of the infantry, and as their infantry approaches, I will move them to behind the infantry so the infantry can start taking their other archers' shots. But that's one of the biggest flaws I have seen in tactics from other people, is that they really want to have their archers and everything advance towards the enemy. But what's the point? If your enemy has to march across an open field full of stuff, or not full of stuff, but have to march across an open field and you're marching to face them? What's the point when they can just be under your archers' fire for the entire time they are crossing to your troops? There's absolutely no point in in advancing towards the enemy. So that's just one of the most important things that I want to go over. So let's just hop right into the battle. Let me continue. Alright. So what we are going to attack. You want to lead your troops, don't auto-resolve. Auto-resolves doesn't work very well. You will have troops die now, unlike it previously was before. But alright, so first things first, you want to get into the action immediately. Like, it's immediately important. You just jump straight into battle. Like, don't nilly-nally, because every moment is time wasted. Alright, so we have our troops. And what we're going to do, as you can see, we have a very hilly battlefield, but we are going to want to have our horse archers, which I have under command. Sorry for the lag, I just started the game, so you are going to want to just select your horse archers and have them do their own thing. And basically, our cav, which is under 3, you're going to want to follow them and take out the enemy cav. And what we're going to do, we are going to see their positions. We are actually going to not advance as much as we thought because they're closer. But what we're going to do, we are going to have our infantry form up right here. Not form up. Where's a good hill? I think we're going to have them form up right here. Actually, no, they're advancing much further. So this is a good hill back here. We're going to have our infantry form up. We're going to have them form up right here. And then we're going to have our archers form right there. And what we're going to do, we want to take our cav, have them follow us again, and take out the enemy cav. This is extremely important because they are detrimental to the success of your troops. So we're just going to ride around in battle and keep taking out the enemy cav. Sorry, I'm just hacking people to pieces. But it's important that you have your cav follow you. And once you're busy disposing of them, which we killed most of them, you can see that these troops are approaching our troops. You are going to want to charge them immediately. Just run straight through them. Run straight through these troops. And yes, you're going to lose troops to this, but what it does is it disperses the enemy. This charge is crucial because it keeps it away from your infantry, and your infantry don't have to face the enemy and take heavy casualties. And once they're dispersed, it breaks their shield wall, and they'll be more prone to your archers. So, and then you're going to want to keep charging and keeping them off your infantry. And don't mind that, we're going to have them charge, and you want to join the ranks. Or maybe get on a horse again. See, we had our cavalry charge. We're going to have our infantry retreat back here into battle so our cav can take care of it. Meanwhile, while this is all going on, we have our horse archers surrounding the troops and just slaughtering them with arrows. Yes, we are going to lose a few troops. And once we start cleaning up the battle, we're going to tell them to charge. You don't want to tell your horse archers or archers to charge. But basically, the gist of things, you're going to want to form your infantry in front of your archers, have your archers positioned on the hill so they have a great firing position. And what you're going to want to do is have your cav follow you, take out the other cav, have your horse archers on delegate command, which is F6, which makes them do their own thing. They will automatically circle and shoot the other enemy to pieces. And once they're busy doing that, you're going to want to charge the enemy once they approach your infantry, because it will make them back off and make them slightly retreat and lower their shield walls, which will make them exposed to your archers. And as well, you do not want to tell your archers or your horse archers to charge in a battle. You want your cav to take care of business like that. And the cav charge is crucial if you don't want to lose your infantrymen, because the cav charge will keep them off the infantry. And this tactic works extremely well. As you can see, we were outnumbered about 2 to 1, slightly under 2 to 1 ratio per troops, and we managed to win the battle with not a terrible amount of casualties. 58 casualties. We lost like a third of our army, and we killed about a fifth of 5 times what we lost. So I really do think this is an incredible method of fighting off troops. And I just want to go over this again because it seemed very hectic, the battle, but okay, so what you're going to want to do, this is going to be the tactic fully laid out. I know I'm just repeating myself, but I really want to make sure that I heave these points and that y'all understand it, even though you just saw the hecticness of the battle. What you're going to want to do is have your infantry on the bottom of the hill, have your archers on top of the hill, and basically you're going to set them up like that and have the other enemy charge across the field to you. And once you do that, you are going to want to put your horse archers on delicate command, which is just selecting them and pressing F6. They will lead themselves and they will circle the enemy, pelting them with archers. Next, what you're going to do, you're going to want to have your cavalry follow you into battle. You're going to lead them straight into the enemy cavalry. You can either follow them and just stay around their cavalry until you take out all the enemy cav, or you can just tell them to charge straight into the cav and they'll take care of it themselves. But it's important, if you make them charge, you make them follow you again once all the cav is destroyed. And so by the time you take out their cav, their infantry will probably have walked across the field or charged across the field and are about to meet up your infantry. You're then going to want to take your cav and just follow you and go straight through their lines of infantry. Going straight through their lines of infantry will cause them to disperse and hesitate and fall back into battle. It will also lower their shields, so they'll be extremely exposed to archers due to being spread out and not having shields within their shield walls. As well, your cav will be able to pick off some of them as they charge through them, and the horse archers will have an easier time killing more and more of them. But basically, what you're going to want to do is repeat the cav charges, keeping them off your infantry so you don't lose a lot of troops, and you want to basically just repeat all that over and over again until you finally take out the army like I just did now. Yes, this was a really fast battle because I absolutely slaughtered them, and I lost 58 troops, but the majority were infantry, as you can see here. Infantry, and some cavalry. You're going to lose cav, but the amount of prisoners you take from this method is definitely going to easily refill all of your armies. But basically, that is the tactics that is some of the best tactics that I use within the game of Bannerlord, and I find it a really good tactic overall. And it's also really good for capturing lords to make a ton of money. But anyways, thank you guys to every single one of y'all. I highly appreciate it that you watched the entirety of the video. We're almost to 1,000 subs. Hopefully I can get like 30 subs from posting this video. I'm really excited for that, and this is going to be absolutely awesome. But thank you guys so much for absolutely everything. This has been Droblu.